Hi, everybody. Matt here from Matt Likes Comics, and I'd like to thank Bleeker at the comic church at Bleeker's Comics, for making that video intro for me. I tried it last Tuesday to see how long it would take and all that stuff, and I'm going to use it as the official video opening for the superhero show since it's chock full of superheroes.
What are the odds?
I know. I am very pleased tonight to introduce our two guests, our good friend Stepen Gentner, who has been joining us the last few weeks with some great books. And tonight we've got Doc all the way from Philadelphia. How you doing, Doc?
Wonderful, man. How could I not be wonderful with two esteemed gentlemen like you in my presence now?
Very nice. Thank you.
Doc, of course, is also known as Mancave Comics on Instagram and here on YouTube, although I don't think he does a channel anymore.
I have a channel, but I just don't do much. If you look, I have old videos.
But I am a subscriber, though, Doc.
I appreciate it.
All right. So tonight we're doing things a little differently. I'm going to step out of the limelight and let my two guests have their run, because I'm sure those out there that know them know that they're both very big collectors, very great collections, and and both of them like the superheroes like we do here. If you're here watching tonight, hopefully you're a superhero fan like the rest of us. For me, it was superheroes. That's all. I read some of the old Gold Key cartoons that my sisters used to get, but to me, comics were superheroes, and they always will be deep down in my heart. I really appreciate it. So let's take a moment to say hi to everybody in the Nefarious Comics chat tonight, and we'll go from there. First, of course, Mr. K. Munin.
Andreas.
Who unfortunately won't be able to make the show tonight due to a prior commitment. But he did make sure he was first. Hi, Rob. Rob Saint.
Hi, Rob.
I like his thumbnail there. Good old Captain Marvel.
Hi, TM.
TM's here.
TM.
And we've got Jeff Jack at 4-Color Flophouse. Good to see you.
Hello, Jeff.
And we've got Lewis from Second Floor Comics.
We have a bit of a controversy here, Mr. Atkinson.
Why is that?
Well, do you read the comment?
I see that. You are second. Unfortunately, Louis' comment seems to have disappeared. So I can't verify that one way or another. Lau was with me at the show I went to today. Unfortunately, Alan couldn't make it, but Lau and I spent a good hour looking at comics together, having some chats and having some fun at the show we went to. So good to see you, Lau. Lau will also be my guest on Tuesday, as he has a Kickstarter coming, and we're going to talk about that. I believe his Kickstarter starts tomorrow. And
I have the notification on, and as soon as it comes on, I will be jumping in big time.
Rich is here, Big Nasty. Good to see you.
Hi, Rich.
Comic Mike is here. Mike, awesome.
Mr. Mike?
Comic Mike. He's been on the show a few times, I think. Huh?
Yeah. Brittle Page Man is here.
I always say Mr. Page because brittle is a dirty word.
Yeah, what is this nonsense?
Danny Barry, Sports Reporter, is here.
Sports Reporter. Hello?
Veronica stopped by. Hi, Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Hello.
Biggie Shack is here.
Yo, Biggie.
The immortal one?
Immortal one himself. Mike Dennis is here.
Mikey
Hi,
D.
Mike. We've got Longest Cosplays has made it tonight. Good to see you.
Felicitations.
Dope here.
Oh, you always, I don't know about your taste and judgment there, Dope, but I appreciate
Doc is a class act. Does he owe you money or something? Or
Kenny Numbers is here. Kenny, great to have you here tonight.
Ken?
Chonko is here. Hi, Chon. Mike.
Hi, Mike.
And that's everybody at the moment. So why don't we flip a coin over who goes first?
You want to go first, Step? I'll let you decide.
Well, let me put it this way. Are we going one round each? Are we doing 2 rounds each? Or what is the format?
We can do 2 rounds. As I said, I'm not
We mean
going.
2 rounds each?
Yes, 2 rounds.
Okay,
Bingo.
starting and finish. All right. Well, Doc, I didn't know what you were going to show tonight. What's on the Hi, Sue.
Well,
What's on the agenda for you tonight?
I I was inspired by your show with Matt a few weeks ago, where you just showed your Adam Strange books, and so I was just going to keep it to for my first part. I was going to show my Dr. Solar Man of the Atom
Oh,
books.
I love those.
And I have all of them except for 2 slabbed, and then I have a bunch of raw ones which I didn't have the energy to go digging for. But and
Understood.
then Matt said I want big books, and I consider Dr. Solar a big book, but I decided to get big. Last time I was here, I showed my Golden Age books. So DC, which is near and dear to all of us. So I just pulled out some silver and bronze big stuff.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know you. I'm going to operate on the basis I will lead off so that you can bring us home at the very end.
Sure.
All right. I'm Red Eye.
Okay, Stephen, you're on the clock.
I'm on the. Boy, that's welcoming.
Well, isn't that the chess term? You're on the clock.
When you hear the band start to play, Steve, that means you better hurry.
Well, when I hear the harps, I'm gonna run the other way.
And if you hear a gong, you're done.
Yeah, the hook comes in, you know. My orientation tonight is World's Finest. The reason why is because when I was 7, the way I saw my first Golden Age book was, or part of it, was I was at my parents' house, my grandparents' house. We would always go over for Sunday dinner. And then down in the basement, there was all manner of junk and what have you down there. Mom and Dad and Grandma and Grandpa. Dad and we're in the hotel industry, so my grandfather and my father would always talk business. I don't think Dad was all that keen on it, but Grandpa was business is always business. And they had the Schwann's catalog for classical music and opera that they would talk about in order, music. And then they would talk about hotel, and then they would talk about bonds and stocks and all that other stuff, which for a little kid is like, oh my God, wake me when it's over. So my brother and I would go down into the basement where there was all manner of stuff. That's where we found my grandfather's steamer trunk with his stuff from the First World War, which gave me interest in, I've always been interested in history, but the fact that my grandfather had been in the conflict, I wasn't really tracking completely on what was going on. But Grandma was into doing arts and crafts, and she would make these elaborate centerpieces for the dinner table for us. And by elaborate, I mean she had these styrofoam elves and tinsel and things like that. God love Grandma. And down in the basement, she had these long boxes that were filled with the various stuff that she would use to create these things. And they had dividers, which were pieces of cardboard. I was looking through the stuff just to look. And here was the cover to World's Finest #6, just the cover. And I was old enough, I already was reading comics. I had read some Disney's. I knew instantly, I mean, this was new, this was different, this was old, this was magical. The Golden Age, I mean, I didn't know it was the Golden Age, but I knew it was something different and old and special. So I spent the next hour and 15 minutes scouring the basement to try to find the book. The Grandma basically pitched the book and just kept the cardboard as a divider. So in 1988, a dealer talked me into trading my Silver Age collection. In 1988, the market had shifted to Silver Age books as opposed to Golden Age. In other words, the pendulum would swing back and forth back then. And it was on a definite Silver Age slant. And I had accumulated probably 75 long boxes of books from 1965 all the way up through 1988, of all things. Mostly Silver Age runs, no Golden Age of any sort, but all Silver Age runs. And he said, I can give you a very, very good deal on all of these books, and I think that you should look at the Golden Age and understand what it is you're looking at. And he opened my eyes somewhat. And so I decided, and I also, at that point, was starting to come into my earning years. In 1988, I was 35. And at the hotel, my wage structure was such, and I didn't suffer from many vices. And comics was my vice, one of them, the primary one. Comics have been basically, uh, basically have been in my entire life. And the books and times and eras and everything else have punctuated my life all the way through. So like when you hear a music on the radio, or if you hear, or you watch a movie, things like that that bring all those things back. Well, comics are that way with me as well as those others. And all the various things that were going on, people I was with, like all of us do, that are collectors and enjoy sharing them when we were younger. It's more fun to share them now, but I don't have neighbors that do that, and I go online to meet my buddies, my comic buddies, to share. So when I used to go to, it says, why don't you come over to my house and we'll look at my books? And now when we go to the house of the social media to show our books, it's just the way it is, and it's wonderful because we get to see everybody. Now, all of that said, he brought down. I was living in an apartment at that point, and he brought down world's best, world's finest, 1 through 25. And he said we had been talking on the phone. And so he brought down this big truck, and I made a deal. He said, I'll give you a big credit for all of these Silver Age books. I specialize in Golden Age books. I specialize in Alex Schomburg, and then everything changed at that point. And my collection when I was growing up was all, my floor grade was VG because I didn't have any money. And so the monies that I could earn, I was buying and completing my runs in VG, and if I could get a fine or a very fine now and again, so much the better. But I was a completist like Alan is. I was very much a completist. So it served me in good stead because I had full runs of Showcase, Flash, Green Lantern, Tales of Suspense. I mean, I had a whole bunch of runs, all of them complete. And he made me a good deal. And then the very first thing I did was I then traded part of my credit to get this entire run, this bunch of World's Finest. And then he said, and he had accumulated this set over 3 or 4 collections that had come in over a period of months, where he was basically carefully picking and choosing these World's Finest books and then putting together a run. He didn't know I wanted him at the time, but was in the process. He said, you're lucky because I've been putting this together. Are you interested? So then I bought a whole bunch more of all the other ones that he had. And that is what constitutes what I'm showing you. Hi, Bleak. Constitutes what I'm showing you this evening is the very first Golden Age run that I ever got. And I've had these since 1988, 1989. So I will start. Here is World's Best Comics #1.
So cool. That is so cool.
Nice.
And all of these books are very nice. All of the edges. This is probably the softest spine that I've got. The first 17 books of World's Best and Finest, I'll show you what I mean. The first 17 covers are what are known as cardboard covers. And it's like a playing card, not like cardboard. They call them cardboard covers. But they're glued covers with these heavy cardstock covers. And, for example, if you look at this one, you see how nice this is?
That's Jerry Robinson, right?
Fred Ray, I think.
They sure look similar, that's for certain.
No, they don't.
I find the way they do Robin's head is very, very similar. But
well, the way they smile, the way that they are smiling. Now, incidentally, inside on the back of about the first 4 or 5, they have pinup back covers of stuff other than the front cover that they have interesting back covers. I'm not going to yank them out. Well, maybe I will. For you, I'll do it.
We're just going to take a moment to say hi to Hurricane and thank you very much. He has been kind enough to give us a super chat.
Give me some money. Give me some money.
Thank you, Hurricane.
Now, you have Lando, Man of Magic. You have Johnny Thunder. You have Red, White, and Blue. Zatara, the Crimson Avenger. And then Superman, Batman, and Robin. Superman has the old face of Superman, which is Schuster. Okay,
yes, that I agree. Like that's not.
But this is, I believe, Fred Ray. And inside, you'll notice that this was the cast of characters in this, where you have the magic. You have two magic guys. You have Lando, Man of Magic, and I don't know what else Lando was in. He was in World's Finest. But the cast of characters of World's Best and then World's Finest was they wanted to show, they showcased all the good characters that they had in DC. Because this is a DC product, not an All-American product. All-American was Flash, Spectre, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Wildcat, Mr. Terrific.
Spectre was DC.
I beg your pardon? Spectre was DC, right?
Yes.
So here is issue number 2, which is when it starts to be World's Finest, formerly World's Best, as you see. And again, you see the spine. These are in very, very nice. They're flat. They're glossy. They have a lot of cover gloss on them still. But I've never opened these books all the way. I've always very, very gingerly opened them up. Here on the back cover, this time around, we have a different back cover. You have the same. Now you have the King, and you have Drafty, because the war was coming along. Batman and Robin is a very classic pose, which looks exactly like the back cover of Batman #1. Do you agree, Doc?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
And so inside, you have these characters. So what they would do is they would change the cast of characters, because they were always the world's finest characters, introducing you to them, so that you then could go to their regular books to find them. I mean, regular titles. And here is issue number 3. This is the first appearance of the Scarecrow. And you can see that.
It's funny how there's no indication of that on the cover, because you don't get like action covers like you did for even detective or action, and you don't get, and the fact that the Scarecrow was a minor character until the Silver Age. It's kind of weird, eh?
Well, he had 2 appearances. He had one cover, and then was his origin, and he is a bad cat in this story, and I mean for real. And here is the back cover of this one. Isn't that fun?
I love the fact that the Crimson Avenger is part of that. I have a soft spot for him since he was the first.
Have you ever read any Crimson Avenger?
I've read several Crimson Avenger stories as the collections and stuff.
Did you know where the Crimson Avenger ended up going? Do you not?
Well, he ended up going with the rest of the 7 Soldiers of Victory into some sort of limbo.
Well, no, he went into leading is where he went.
Yeah. Oh, you were talking. Sorry, I thought you were talking story-wise. Yes, he went into leading comics with the 7 Soldiers of Victory.
And his sidekick's name was Wing. All right, who was a Chinese guy who was his manservant, and he was from China, and he was very much about fighting the Japanese as a Chinese national, but it was all very, very stereotyped and sing-song Chinaman went downtown kind of thing is what it was back then. But the fact that they were fighting the Japanese was real, and he was fighting them for real with the Crimson Avenger. Here is issue number 4.
I love too that they tend to be doing some sort of sport every cover as well.
And this has been a perennial. Now, you will notice that the Sandman has now joined the cast.
Very cool.
And Red, White, and Blue, Hop Harrigan has joined the cast. Now, I believe Hop Harrigan was All-American, too. Again, Superman has still got the old Superman face.
What's the date on that? No, I'm curious because there's that 42 to 44 period where they were not really together, right? If I remember correctly, then he finally took over in 44 and they became one.
This is the winter of 1941, which means it's still pre-Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
The inside covers are blank.
Wow. Very cool.
All kinds of really good stuff in here. And they, one of the things about, for example, here's Lando, Man of Magic.
You know, I don't.
These are 96. These are 96 pagers.
That'd be a good afternoon of reading for a kid.
Here is the Sandman. You will notice that the panel construction is more regimented on these early ones. Doc, are you still with me?
You're on mute, Doc.
I had to mute it because I was opening up slabs. So I'm watching beautiful stuff.
Okay, thank you. I'll just show you let me show you the splash page to Superman.
God, they're like telephone books, but so well made. Look at that.
See, I love the
They don't
fact
make
that
books like that.
I know. It's amazing. I love the fact that they had those kind of books. I mean, yes, it was a 15 center, but it's worth it. 96 pages.
Yeah.
And it's all original material.
Well, 96 pages is a book and a half, right? Because there were 64 pages, and then you have 96, and then the covers. But the thing was that in Action Comics, you got one Superman story. In Detective, you got one Batman story. In World's Finest, you got them both, plus a lot more. And that was the charm. Plus, they give you that they are literally comic books at this point. They're big. There's a lot of stuff in here. There's all kinds of little joke, sort of novelty one-pagers or, short stories. Now, since that was winter of 41, here's the spring.
Thank you, Ken. Oh, sorry, you were reading it.
I comics have made me like Canadians a lot more because there's so many great Canadian comic collectors. So I can't trash Canada anymore.
I can't stand them. Anyway, so this is spring of 1942, and we are now well and truly into World War II. And here is the cover. Now, this is issue number 5. And now, issue 5, they have now gone to advertising on the back cover.
What a bummer.
So this is the spring of 1942, and inside the lineup is Superman, Batman and Robin, Zatara, the Crimson Avenger, TNT, and Dan, the Dynamites, which are these two guys. They're in green capes and stuff, and they're these two guys that go and slug it out and what have you.
I loved when guys like TNT were brought into the All-Star Squadron out of the blue because Roy Thomas.
This is where they came from. This is where they came from.
Haven't shown the front cover.
I'm sorry? Did I not show it?
You did not. You started with the back cover.
I apologize.
Oh, I love that one. I've never had that one. They remind me of pulps. When you turn it sideways, they remind me of high-quality pulps.
What a beautiful cover.
Beauty. Thank you, Stepo. Sorry to.
No, it's not a problem.
Alan told me how I do that.
I got a hold of back in the day in 1988, This was before, this is when I was, at the same time, I was researching the Sandman's first appearance in Fair 39. I also investigated World's Finest to find out the
Thank you.
look
Bleak.
at this. He's giving money. Are you all right, Bleecker?
That just a second, Bleecker. He's new at this. Let's give him a
this
fun
will make
thing.
Ahoy! Have you seen this man?
Arr, that's Handsome Pete. He dances for nickels. Pete, you got some customers. Not a quarter. Arr, he'll be dancing for hours.
I'm learning how to do this, Stephen. I'm not fast enough. I'm sorry.
no.
Thanks
That's
for
all
that.
right.
Thanks
Hell,
for
it's
that,
your
Bleecker.
show. And so what I did at the same time, this was an arduous process in the day. Back now, you can go onto Grand Comics database, and right up at the top, they tell you the date of publication.
Yeah.
Well, back in the crude Flint days that I was doing it, the way it worked was this. You would basically, I would call them, and I would let them know what I was looking for. Then I had to send a letter of transmittal and a check, cashier's check, for them to do the checking on various things. Then the letter would go back, they'd cash the check, and then they would then put me in the hopper for all the requests they had for the copyright and patents. Because when a comic book went on sale, what they would do is they would then register the copyright with the patent office so that they could protect the title and protect the characters. This is what made the end of Fawcett, because they had him dead to rights. It took a long time, but they had him dead to rights. So the upshot of it was, then once it's your turn, then they go through the registers and research all the questions that you gave them. They print it out on a piece of paper, and then they send it to you in the mail. It takes a long time. So I basically figured out all the dates of publication for the first 17 or first 20 of the World's Finest, World's Best, World's Finest. And that way then, when I was trying to establish the placement of Robin's appearances, when I got to Fair 40, because that's the first one where Batman and Robin have joined them, that first Jack Burnley cover, that they have this, I think it's like the 7th appearance of Robin, 6th or 7th appearance of Robin is in Fair 40. This is the book that launched the 1,000 comics.
Nice.
Nice.
And how happy were you to finally get to see the book that you had
Well,
been searching for?
when we're going through these in my apartment, and I saw this, and I said, stop. And then I was finally able to look inside since 1960 to see what happened. Again, we're no longer with that, but it's a beautiful cover. This is my perennial Veterans Day one. The Batman story is, here's this one.
He doesn't have a face.
Beautiful.
And they look at this panel that has a lot of their villains, you see? There's Catwoman, there's Joker, there's Penguin. So it's, they basically showed, and here is and by this time, John Sakella and Wayne Boring, but John Sakella in particular was ghosting for Schuster.
Mm-hmm.
And it would depend, because you had action, you had Superman, and then you had World's Finest. And you had Detective, and you had Batman, and then you had World's Finest. So this is like the third. This is the third story in, or the third placement. You will notice that his cape, the colorist did it, is incorrect.
Yeah, they were still. It took them almost till 1945, almost, to actually sit down and say, "This is the uniform. No more changes."
Now, by this time, You will also notice that they have standardized on the Superman logo. It wasn't hand-drawn by Schuster like he did every time.
No, it was Ira Shapp that finally standardized it. They give him credit for it.
Good old Ira.
Mm.
I'll go just a few more. I'll go a little bit quicker now. Here is issue number 7.
Very cool.
Here is issue number 8. Now, during the war, their shorthand expression for the Japanese and the Nazis was Japanazis.
So good. Next is the one Hitler cover, right? Number 9.
You bet your life, all 3.
Yep. Beautiful.
Good night, Veronica.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Now we have a change. We have the Star-Spangled Kid in Stripesy. We have Green Arrow. We have the Boy Commandos. And so they are changing up the lineup to give you something new and interesting. This is issue 10. We're still with the cardboard covers. This one was not part of the set. I had to go out and find this one. And I believe this is the one this is from. It looks like it's August, the fall issue of 40. No, this was Fred's book.
Victory Garden.
Let me see if it's signed. No, I think it's the other one that has the signature. This one is not quite as nice, and by this time now, they are putting the indices on the cover.
The inside cover. Very cool.
Inside cover.
And I like that they're listing the stories inside too.
Superman was always the first story, and Batman was always the last story.
Very
And
cool.
I think that George Papp worked on Green Arrow right from the jump forever.
He was with them a long time, that's for sure. And I mean, like Kirby took him over in the 50s briefly, and then I think 57 to 59 or 58 to 59 or whatever. And then I don't know who had it after.
Now, what they do here is that they show this is more fun, showing the 3 of them interacting together.
You'd have to think that those suits, maybe not for Superman, but Batman and Robin's suits would get so heavy when they're wet.
No, they were specially made so that they would drip dry. Fight paper waste and hang one on the paper hanger of Berlin.
So good.
Very cool.
This is the one. This was another one that I had to go find. And this one is actually signed by Dick Sprang.
Victory Garden.
Nope, the old watering hole.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Very cool. Dick Sprang. I
Colors
like
on
it.
that are great.
He signed it further in. I can't remember where he signed it. I would show you who's in here. The cast of characters on this one: Superman, Batman, Boy Commandos, Green Arrow, Star Spangled Kid, Zatanna, and Drafty. Drafty, of course, is a schlub soldier that gets stuff wrong, where they basically have comedy about the
army.
his S is again incorrectly drawn.
I wonder if that was. I don't remember seeing a lot of them with the blue and yellow S, but it's interesting how this series has a couple of them.
Here is issue 15.
Another baseball cover.
Yeah.
Baseball was the main thing. Baseball was the national pastime. Alan says, well, it's a baseball cover. It's a loser. And I go, you don't understand America at all.
Well, baseball was the ultimate because face it, it's the best sport for radio.
Here is issue number 16.
So good.
I still listen to baseball on radio mostly.
And this is the last cardboard cover. And the boys are riding in a rickshaw.
Very cool.
So those are all those are the first 17 are all of the. Now, issue 18, you will notice this one. It's rather interesting. It still is square bound, but it is just regular cover stock paper. And you will notice also, do you see up at the top the way the paper is cut?
Mm-hmm. Now it's looking like
terrible. That's terrible.
Now it's looking like a pulp.
And our cast of characters in this one, oh boy, that's pretty. Just a second here.
Oh.
Superman, Batman, Boy Commandos, Green Arrow, Star Spangled Kid, and Zatanna. And a Johnny Everyman story, which any kid that was reading it says, why are you bothering with Johnny Everyman? And on the inside now, on the back cover, they run the advertisements for the other books.
That's cool. Don't forget that wallet, which has like 5 values, big values.
It's got big values, and like you just don't even know it had such good values.
It can hold your license. It can hold your cash.
It can hold everything. I'll show just a few more, and then I will relinquish to Doc. Here is issue number 19.
I love those yellow covers.
These are far more fragile than the cardboard covers had the problem of the covers disconnecting and coming off the book because the glue would finally dry up to the point that it just gave up. And that was if you were opening and closing it. I mean, if you were a kid reading the thing, this was a little bit more, but a regular stock paper wrapping a cover of a book this big with paper that thin is extremely problematic for survival. Problematic means it didn't last very well.
I would imagine not.
And here is issue number 20.
Oh, very cool. That's hilarious. Superman, like putting his foot on the
do.
What do you mean I weigh 4,000 kilograms?
We don't weigh in. He didn't weigh in kilograms. Honest.
I know. I wanted.
It's avoirdupois here.
I was seeing if you're paying attention.
Oh, yes, I am. Okay, I relinquish to Doc.
Beautiful collection, Steppo. What can I say?
Thank you.
Well,
We had a
I am
comment
going
from Doc before we
completely in a different direction here.
Brittle Page Man wanted to
I
had a
got it
comment.
for just under 5K. So yes, but that's 13. That probably was a Conan actual cover or something, because they vary. Even the little sketches vary from 4 at the lowest to 30 for a little sketch. You start getting into bigger pieces of art, it goes for way more than that. But yeah, no, I got it. I didn't have to go that far. Thank you. I actually put a bid on it because I thought it was so cheap, and I ended up winning. So it was definitely.
That's the best way.
Yep. It was I was not planning on getting it, but I said no way. All right. So, well, going from the golden age, I know this is superheroes, and I just was picking a superhero I enjoy, and this superhero has been the inspiration for a lot of things, and it's a gold key superhero, which I know Matt enjoys gold key superheroes.
I do.
So this, I'm going to go show my Dr. Solar Man of the Atom. I almost have the full run slabbed. I have half of them raw, but I didn't have it's much harder for me to dig out my raw books than slabs. So I pulled out the slabs, and they were pretty good reads. Gold Key was from Weston Publications. It took over for Dell, and it was very kid friendly, but they expected they had good science themes, and Bob, for the first 4 issues, Bob Fujitani did the interior work. So it's, well-respected artist. But anybody who grew up in my generation or Steppo's, superhero, Marvel and DC had great books, but there's something about the Gold Key painted cover comics that sometimes would just draw your attention, and they just
they're so
for just covers, they're some of the best. Be it Turok, old Turok, Magnus Robot Fighter, Dr. Solar, Phantom, etc. And that's right. Mike just brought up a good point. Chanko brought up a good point that I believe Kirkman just bought the rights to Dr. Solar and Turok and Magnus Robot Fighter.
Yeah.
So just to give a little history, Dr. Solar is actually the first original superhero written for Gold Key Comics, right?
Remember that.
At the inception when it changed over from Dell in 1962 to Gold Key Comics. And so the first book, which I know Steppo actually showed a 9.0 just the other day, of the first appearance, is I'm jealous, Stink Gen. I've been meaning to upgrade my 8.5 for a long time, and now
I've got a 7.5
now it's
on
probably going
Magnus.
crazy. The Magnus is probably going crazy, so I'm going to hold off. But yeah, so Dr. Solar was the first superhero. Magnus was a few months later, and it was written by I think Powell, and but Bob Fujitani did the first 4 covers, and then various other artists. Bolle, do you know how to pronounce Bolle? Frank Bolle or Boll?
Yeah, Bolle. I know you almost would say Bolle. It would seem to make sense rather than Bowl.
Yeah.
I really don't
Well,
know.
I would want to know his background and see how to.
Yeah, so that I don't know, but here, enough talk here. Well, I will talk, but we'll start showing some books too. So
These
this
are
is
so
beautiful.
Dr. Solar. I used to have a lower grade one, but then I upgraded.
I had a friend whose dad collected all these stuff, and this is where I fell in love with them.
Yeah,
because he let us, as long as he was in the room, he'd let us read them, so to make sure that we weren't like wrecking
That's a
them.
good dad, because some people get very prickly about their comic collection.
Who did the cover on this one? Is it
this
same
was
guy?
Powers.
Yeah, lower left.
What's his name? Richard Powers did the first 2 covers. Then after that, George Wilson, I believe, did.
Wilson was the man.
Yeah,
but
Wilson,
this is so esoteric. This one was such a departure.
Right. Wilson did a lot of the Phantom comic covers as well. He's just an amazing.
I think he did a lot of the Turok Son of Stone too.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Him
he
and,
did a lot of. He did a lot of all the painted covers that weren't horror.
yeah.
Horror
And for those
was.
who don't know, Solar was a bit of the inspiration for Dr. Manhattan of the Watchmen. Very similar
I've heard
origins.
that. I've heard that.
Very,
few
very
times.
similar origin stories. This is a nuclear scientist. It's Dr. Richard Solar, and he, of course, was in a nuclear lab, and a nefarious gentleman trying to sabotage the whole thing did something, and he jumps in to save the day, and it ends up absorbing a ton of nuclear radiation to become.
Well, isn't that Captain Atom?
That's also
Isn't that like
Captain
Captain Atom?
Very
Yes.
similar, very similar. And Captain Atom predates him, so we probably have to give.
Captain Atom was the original character that became Dr. Manhattan, but Dr. Solar's background was what they told.
Yeah. So that might be right. And it's a very similar story. Like if I like Firestorm. Firestorm had a similar story, and he ended up being absorbed with the
Old
jock, with
doctor,
the professor, and they both he controlled the body, and the professor was always in his head though, and there's a lot, of course, the Hulk, and you name it, it's a common theme. And initially he didn't wear any special outfits. He just had to have a lead-lined suit or regular clothes, and he was trying to hide his powers from his he had a love interest, but he was trying to keep it a secret. And most of the early issues were more espionage. Someone's trying to destroy the nuclear plans or do this or that, and he was.
It was the early 60s.
Is this 1962?
It is a few months after Amazing Fantasy 15, so I just want to point that out. Amazing Fantasy 15 was August. This is October, but it was
Of 62.
Yeah, 62.
And the
That's
space
not wrong.
race, and I was just going to say, and the space race is well on and going
Yeah.
at this point.
But yeah, it's not long. It's not long after Gold Key took over for Dell.
Yes, very shortly after. Dr. Solar is the first hero created by Gold Key. Here's a nice atomic bomb cover.
What issue is that?
This is number 2.
I always collected Magnus and I collected Turok. I only had a couple Dr. Solars.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
that was the
This-
earliest book in the collection I was talking about.
Yep, and this is the last Bob Powers, Richard Powers. Fujitani's still doing the interior, and Paul Newman is the story writer for the first 10 issues. But again, most of these early books are just espionage. Someone's an invisible Dr. Neuro. Neuro is one of his main recurring villains, Neuro, and he's a mastermind who lives on an island and is always trying to get the secrets or the this or the plan or the just the regular.
Oh yeah, the MacGuffin.
Yes, the MacGuffin, exactly.
I love the fact that Gold Key, when it comes to the superhero, there's so much information about the artist there, because when you were trying to figure out who did certain cartoon books, for example, a Daffy Duck or a Woody Woodpecker, most of the artists are unknown because a lot of the stories were reprints from Dell, and Dell didn't tell you who the artists were. So it's so cool that with
Doc, you noticed that. I'm sorry, Matt. You will notice that the interior artwork on these were not well known for having large backgrounds and all of the frills. It was much more aimed at little kids to be able to understand what's going on.
Correct. And it's technically good art. They had different word bubbles, if I recall. It was they had a different style to it. If I had more energy, I would have gotten some of my raw books so I could show the interior. So I apologize for that. Here's number 3.
Wow.
And this is the first George Wilson cover. And again, he's not wearing a.
There can't be many. Is that the only 9/8, or is there even another one?
2 or 3 9/8, if I recall.
Jeez Louise.
Wilson is so good. He deserves more recognition than he gets.
Oh yeah.
Like in his time, he should have been as popular as Alex Ross is now.
Yeah,
Matt, you will
Wilson-
notice, Doc, just a second. Doc,
Mhm.
just a second. You will notice what he is wearing right now. And what he has a special suit that will withhold all of the radiation that's coming off of him. And then he would then project it through his bare hand. He'd have with gloves or whatever.
Correct.
He'd take it off, and then he would put the mojo on him until he got his uniform.
Correct. And it was always an issue early on that he had to get power, but he'd also lose power. Some of the ways the villains would get him is they had a way of draining his power, and he'd almost die because he would lose his nuclear, and then he'd find a nuclear waste dump somewhere.
They're all over the place, Doc.
Exactly. But he was very powerful. He could manipulate matter. He could manipulate his cells so he could fly, and he got more and more power. Like most heroes, they start off fairly, powerful or not, but then they start gaining power as time goes on more often than not. And even in the Gold Key one, that is certainly the case. Now, just so this is Richard Power, I got into Solar with Valiant Comics in '91. That's a slightly different name. I forget his name and a different origin story, but similar concept, accident leading to godlike powers type of situation. But and if you also notice, no Coke. Gold Key inherited the Dell reputation, Westinghouse reputation of Weston Publications reputation of being kid friendly, so they did not have to have the comic code.
It never even occurred to them to have to do that.
Yeah.
Although I'm assuming that they made sure that they were okay with the with the code people. They saying, "Do you have any problem with what we are doing? Look it over, see what you think." They say, "Get out of here. You're fine."
Yep.
Did you slab it, or did you prep and slab that one? The number 9, the 9.8. Did you?
No, I got them slabbed. I got them already slabbed. Yeah. Now this
It's a safer way to do it.
Yeah, this one is I have some pretty high grade raw books, but not quite that high. It's hard to, a book from 1962, 63 and getting that in 9.8 is a challenge.
It's incredible. It's unobtainium.
This is a file copy, actually, this one. So this is a Gold Key file copy. And I love this cover.
Wow.
Yes.
Are they discharging him? Are they radiating him? What are they doing?
This one might be the story where a machine started draining his energy and he had to figure out how to combat it. Yes.
Okay.
That was one. I can't remember the order, but I have I also have a compilation. There's a nice, if you can get it, there's like a 3 or 4 part compilation of all. So there are 27 issues of the Gold Key, 27, and it started losing popularity around 1966, and they stopped publishing in 1969. He appeared in the Occult Files of Dr. Spectre in 3 issues, then disappeared again, and then in the 1980s, Gold Key went to the Whitman direct publication, and they redid about 4 issues in 1980, and they continued at 28, 29, 30, 31.
Yeah, but they were all reprints.
They were, and the cover art's not that good. I think I have one that a raw somewhere, but I'm not trying to get. I'm not a completist with that.
They were losing so much money and trying to get that they let everybody go pretty much in almost all of the 82 to 84 books, no matter who the title is, were reprints.
Yeah.
Maybe new covers. Yeah.
Now, this is the first book where Bob Fujitani doesn't do the interiors, and it is the first time he actually wears his costume. So he really starts looking like a superhero. And still George Wilson cover, great flamethrower cover. And with the costume, his skin turned green, his hair turned white. And
wow, look at that.
Those covers.
That is so cool. Look at that cover.
Yeah.
Who took over after Fujitani on the interiors?
Bole, that guy that we talked about.
Okay, Frank Bole.
Yep. This is still Bob Fujitani, it says, so I might be wrong on the timing. I thought it was the first 4, but
okay.
But this is still.
God, that's a beautiful book.
Yeah, he doesn't. continue for too long. Let's see this one. Yeah, Frank Bole art on this one, and this is a pedigree. This is a Massachusetts pedigree. I don't have the new label on it, but
Look at the color strike of that book. Is Pennsylvania, you said? That's a Pennsylvania?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts copy. I have some of the Western pens. I have a couple of those. But, the thing about a pedigree collection, which does tend to, but look at the color strike on that cover. It is absolutely, and I don't know, it has enough teeny little things on the spine to make that an 8.5 when that looks like a 9.2 or 9.4 to me.
Yeah,
Stone cold it does.
Yeah, I honestly, I can't see. I mean, the edges are a little blunted. It is, it's an older case, so maybe you can press it. But I think.
No, I'm with you. Why put him at risk?
Why?
It's a beautiful book.
Yep. And here's number 8. This is Savannah pedigree. So.
Beautiful. Just gorgeous. Those dark colors, and they're just pristine. God, that's beautiful. Oh man, look at that.
Look at those.
Yeah,
who is the love interest, the blondie there?
Sanders, I believe, was her name. If someone correct me.
I remember.
I'm sorry,
Gail.
say again.
Gail Sanders, I think, was her name.
Okay.
Gail
is right. I assume Sanders is correct too, because I remember Gail is the name.
Yeah. And he
creates a thought machine to unbalance his mind. There's neuro at work there, Doc.
Yes. Yeah. So sometimes they try to attack him through the mind, siphon the energy. They kidnap Gail at some point. It's been a while since I read them, but they're all the first 8 are all very, very more on the earth. Maybe he solves a volcano's about to erupt. He can sense things too. So he was sensing an invisible guy in the lab trying to do stuff, and he has sort of that godlike. I remember this story. This one a robot that
I actually have that one.
Yeah, this is a robot. Correct me if I'm wrong, Stepa, but it was like a robot who just was sucking up energy from everything, like going to power plants and nuclear power plants. And Solar had to figure out how to get around it, because if he just went at him directly, he would probably just get his energy sapped.
This was a more evil computo, Matt.
Yes, I know. I've read this one. I know.
I might be thinking of a different robot story. It's possible.
No, you got that one right.
Power hungry machine that devours everything in sight. It's this insatiable thing where it craves all this and it continues to go after.
Yeah. And I love the trade dress there.
Sorry, Bleeker, as I read that. TM wants to know what other Gold Key comics do you really enjoy?
Well, I have, at some point, I'll show you I have a really good, I don't have the full Phantom run, but I have a pretty good one. A good amount of those. My Turok collection I have a lot of Turok. I have mainly, and I have a Magnus. I have almost all 30 issues of Magnus.
That's tough. A lot of those disappeared into collections in the 90s when Magnus was big again with the Valiant book.
Yeah.
And I
have that one
too. Haven't come out.
It's a great cover.
Yeah, this is.
What a beautiful cover.
Yeah, and I love the fact that they still did the virgin backs for the early ones, at least.
And look, all they give you is one word: solar. I love it. You don't need any more than that.
And it's just not a random background. You can see the Chrysler building to his right, and the Empire State Building to his left. The United Nations right behind him. So it's
is the UN? Oh, I see the UN. Yeah.
Yeah,
and I think that's the Pan Am building that has the spire on the top.
The Pan Am would be at a different. You would be seeing it like this. Pan Am would not be facing the water like that.
Okay, fair enough.
As a previous bike messenger in Manhattan, I will say that is the way. And so this would be the view from the New Jersey side, because Chrysler Building's more north of the Empire State Building. So this is the Hudson River, not the East River.
Very cool.
They always would turn on them. They always were fearful. They were always stampeded like cattle all the time, Doc.
Yeah. Here we go. This is just trying to think. Okay, it's a 9.6. Just so you know,
Beautiful. God, look at that.
Black cover.
That is so beautiful. So hard to get them like that.
Yeah. That now we have.
Now that's the first one that.
That's right. Just like, well, this is number 11. Yep, it's the first one, which is a regular ad on the back. It's like when you were showing the if we have a connection here, Stepo, it's the fact that World's Finest did something similar. It had a unique non-advertisements on the back until it didn't.
Until they needed the money.
Yeah.
You have to wonder. You have to wonder if anybody ever actually used those seed packets.
Well,
Yeah.
I want to track those people down and ask them what the hell happened. Oh wow, they got a little Turok action going in here.
I always like a good dinosaur. And if I recall, this story there was like a meteor that actually had dinosaurs on it that was headed towards Earth, and it was in a Pleistocene era or something, or and they were going through rapid evolution, and if he destroyed them, he might destroy the humans that might come later. So he had to figure out to deflect it without destroying it. But gotta love a Tyrannosaurus Rex, pterodactyl, a Brachiosaurus or the like with teeth. You don't see them with teeth too often.
No.
And a Dimetrodon.
Dimetrodon, which actually is not a dinosaur. It's a
I know.
Pelycosaur. It's
What's the little gray guy coming up, the little lizard guy at the bottom?
Those are probably something even more ancient. I feel like they were trying to show that they were evolving rapidly.
Evolution, yeah.
So,
well, it wasn't hard for Wilson
boom.
to do this after all those Turok covers, wasn't it?
Yeah, and look,
he was used to drawing dinosaurs by that time.
Yes, that is true. And they did a regular Virgin cover again. They sort of went back and forth. It wasn't a.
You got a flying honker and.
Yes. Oh, the honkers. Well, you got to love the honkers. Yes.
Yeah.
Griunk.
The honkers. It's the only people who've read Turok would know that.
Yes. Number 14 here.
Oh, nice. I hadn't seen that one.
Look at the colors on that. I mean,
it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I've only ever seen that
advertisement on the back, but
now you've got. Now is he underwater here?
Yes.
And then what's this is sort of the
wait a
undersea
second.
lab
No,
or something?
It looks like a train or something. It looks like a train. I can't remember the story on this one. I don't think it's underwater.
Well,
the strange Midas touch turns his powers against him.
That's a train.
Yeah, it's a train. There is an underwater one. So I'm missing number 7. That's the one that's a really big underwater one. I'm missing it slab, but I have it raw.
Are these 7 times a year this time? 8 times a year?
What are 8 times a year? I'm not sure. I am not sure about that.
Well, you said it was 62 to 66 and 27.
69.
Or 69, then it would probably be
27.
Bi-monthly. Bi-monthly.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Look at this cover. I mean, got the clock.
Jeez, that's great. It's the origin story retold. Boy, that's a beautiful cover. That isn't.
Yeah. We've seen that one a few times.
Stink Jen, we're happy to have you here, and I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
Now, in these later issues, they start to get more cosmic. At some point, a Galactus-like figure comes, and he realizes he can't go head on with this guy because he'll just suck his power up, and he had to use more subterfuge and clever tactics for this cosmic entity.
It's amazing how many people were sucking his power out. Eh?
Yeah.
It's like every time Superman turns around, kryptonite is there. It's like kryptonite's the most common element on Earth.
There was just enough kryptonite for the stories. That's all it is, Matt.
Solar versus Primo.
Fiery creature from the Earth's core.
The color on that, I mean, the red on the
it's
Solar
lush.
there.
It's lush.
Yeah.
That story.
Could he adjust his height?
Yeah, he could manipulate. Sometimes he'd gorge on too much radiation and become bigger that he couldn't actually control it, and he would be extra large, and he'd have to like dissipate some of the-
Discharge.
Yeah,
He's like Chemo, where Chemo kept Chemo kept growing. Oh, thank you, Stink Jen. Stink Jen has joined the channel. Thank you very much.
All right.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
Beautiful
I think this
cover.
one, a bunch of little robots came and were causing him great. I can't remember exactly, but he had to like get them on a molecular level. They were
Looks like little scorpions, right?
yeah, just good stuff. And at some point, he fought a sort of a clone of himself. And there was also another villain called Sonar, who manipulated sound. I'm not sure how a guy who manipulated sound waves would really affect someone who had nuclear capacity.
This is later in the day because it has that trapezoid for the trade dress.
Yes, this is number 1994. And Sonar tried to isolate him, take all sound away, and make him depressed, basically, which is sort of funny.
I know what I'll do. I'll depress the hell out of him. That'll show him.
I love this cover. This is the lone highest graded copy, and I just love this one. This worm monster.
Beautiful.
There's only 198 of this.
Well, let's take a moment and play the member video for.
Oh yeah, go.
Hey, Clark. Hi. How did you get? Never mind. Okay, even if you are from the future, and I'm not saying that you are, why me?
We belong to the Legion of Superheroes. We want you to join us.
Clark Kent.
Thank you very much.
I just love that worm, dude. Look.
What's the name of the worm?
I can't remember. It's I mean, they're just saying the mind monsters that come to life.
Out of his mind, a la Forbidden Planet.
I don't have this raw, and when I read it in a compilation, and I can't remember where this lined up. I can't even remember.
Now, I read that one too, and that one I think I've burned out of my memories because I remember thinking that creature actually scared the crap out of me.
He's a little scary, yeah. That's why I was drawn.
Well, it's very snake-like.
Yeah,
the eyes are very snake-like.
Very prehistoric, and
in that time period, I was very afraid of snakes.
Here is a Random House Archive one.
Wow.
This is number. This is from 1967. Win Mortimer art in the inside, file copy, and it's number 21. So a few more. As I said, there's 27 total, and I have one bonus one. This is where Neuro becomes King Cybernoid. And there he is.
King Cybernoid.
Got a volcano in the background.
And after he conquers the Earth, what will he do? Will he destroy
That's always
it?
a good question, right?
Why does he have chains on his? Why does he have chains on his ankles?
Are they broken? They look broken to me.
No, it's because he was a prisoner or something, if I remember correctly.
See, Matt's
wore
memory
them.
for stories. I probably read it more recently than him, but he'll actually remember it better than I will.
I was a kid. Like, I'd read them 2 or 3 times, right?
Gotcha.
King Cybernoid strikes an atomic blow at his arch enemy Solar.
This is the last 12-cent copy, so.
Is his mask different in this? What's going on with his face? Solar's face.
No, that's his mask.
Okay, I couldn't see it. Okay, there we go.
That's the bad guy.
Yeah, the bad guy's up on the upper.
The
left.
bad guy's up above the giant robot.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sort of goofy looking robots, but still got a
I remember thinking that looked like origami.
Yeah. Solar pits his power against monstrous masters of land, sea, and air.
I know that one I've read, but I don't remember what happened in that.
And
What year is that one, Doc?
This is 1968, and they had this is a Dick Wood story, Ernie Cullen and Win Mortimer art. And you know, he always had to worry. He was like the main dude to save humanity, and it weighed on him a lot, if I recall. It always, like, you know, he just wanted to be a nuclear physicist. He didn't really plan on being a superhero, but I guess that's the way it works, right? Here's number 25.
Wow.
Hands up. He's given up. Don't shoot. The
It's not
lost
like he couldn't.
dimension.
It's not like he couldn't melt the bullets.
Yeah, that's right. He's looks
Or
like
them too.
he's melting the floor and everything else here.
Yeah.
3 more. Then I'll let Stepo. Atomic Escape from the Lost Dimension.
I haven't
Is that
seen that one. That I
Bad
guess
guy again with his metal mask.
that guy again.
Neuro or one of his lackeys.
Looks like the Unknown comic almost. If it was a paperback.
So this is the final issue, was 27. And then until he reappears in reprints in the 1980s, and then Valiant in the 90s.
Damn.
Dark Horse. I've never read anybody. Did you either of you read the Dark Horse or the more recent iterations from?
No.
Yeah, I've never read it. But here's my. This is the I think the lone highest graded, but this is actually the Occult Files of Dr. Spectre 14, which that is Solar on the cover. The art's a little weird on this one. I find it not quite as appealing as the.
Well, it's considerably darker. There aren't as many primary colors at work
Yeah,
here.
yeah, and it's,
Well, it's also one of their horror books, right?
yeah, Don Glut story, Jesse Santos. So this is the only one where he's on the cover. He's also, this is 14. He's also in 18 and 23, I believe. But,
Good to see you, Jason.
so, and this is 1975. So significantly later,
Yeah.
they're, you know, pulling him back just to, and, you know, if I recall, Dr. Spectre, he had like Dagar and some of those other guys at some point on his thing. And one interesting side note, I forgot to mention, one of his buddies was named Professor Harbinger, and he had his own little story sometimes, and he was a physicist who would solve
And then
things.
they
I
brought
find it
him as a
interesting.
character, and they brought Harbinger as a character. In Valiant.
That's right. So Harbinger was a main Valiant nemesis to Dr. Solar and everybody. And so Professor Harbinger, Dr. Solar, you know, I guess they might have paid attention to some of those things. Could have been Quinky Dinks. I don't know.
Very cool, Doc. You just gave me some good memory lane.
Yeah, I didn't realize you had access to those as a kid to read them all. That's
Well,
great.
I mean, like I mostly bought my own comics, but every so often I get to go to my friend's house because he lived about 7 or 8 blocks away, so I couldn't always go. You know, and his dad was very cool about, because he knew I was into comics. His son was into comics. He was into comics. It was a great day.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I have the Supergirl from the movie here. I have Lobo from the movie here. And I have
Thanks.
Superman from the Superman movie. I have Crypto right there.
Have you seen the movie yet?
I haven't seen it.
I have.
And I will wait until it comes out. And TM is going tomorrow. And so Matt's review and TM's review will be Alan's too negative. I mean, he is brutal in his
I'm
movie
really curious
reviews.
what Matt had to say, because I know Matt likes the Tom King story, and I enjoyed the Tom King story too. So I haven't seen it yet.
All I will say is my video will be airing tomorrow morning at 11.
You got it. We will not try to extract any preliminary.
I had no
info.
intention of trying to extract anything out of Mr.
But
Atkinson.
there is a spoiler alert, because I couldn't. I had to spoil some stuff in order
Lobo's
to make
in it.
sure
Oh,
people
oops, I spoiled that. No.
Lobo was in it. Yes.
Bye.
But I did put a spoiler alert on the video, so I just warn you in advance. Thank you, TM.
Thank you, TM.
Let's give TM a quick, just before Steven gets started, let's give him a very
He just
quick,
did that to interrupt.
Give me some money. Give me some money.
Boy, I
I have to
hate
get
that.
more. I have to get more clips because I'm running out.
That one just really gets me right in the
You don't like
place.
that?
Yeah.
I'm glad. A friend of mine collected Turok, and he also collected Green Lantern, but he also collected Space Family Robinson. Was another one that he collected in the Dell Gold Key. It was pretty cool, but every time I looked at that, I always kept thinking of the Jupiter 2 and Lost in Space. Here is issue number 21.
Oh, now we're basketball. Now we're talking. That's my sport.
Very cool.
No way Batman could take Superman a jump ball even close. Come on.
He's Batman.
Big Sixers fan, Doc?
I am not a huge Sixers fan. They're just too annoying. I lived in Manhattan for 6 years, and I used to be a massive Knicks fan. I sort of drifted away, but when the Knicks were in the playoffs, I tend to root for them unless they're playing the Sixers. I've moved my allegiance. My allegiance to my family and friends never moves. But when I move to a different city, if I like the team at all, I'll take on their allegiance a little bit. To me, it doesn't matter, right?
So you're a sports chameleon. Is that what you're telling us?
Yes. But it was fun to watch the Knicks.
Here is issue 22.
Ooh, that's a interesting white cover for that. God, that's a nice copy. If you had to grade these, what would you grade these that you've been showing?
The way I look at them now, I mean, nice. They're better than fine. They're fine plus kind of thing.
Well, but in the 1980s, you just called all those near mint. You just called them near mint.
Well, that's true. That's true. But we're a little bit past that.
Yeah.
Here is issue number 23.
Oh, this is so Superman's weighing him down. That earlier one. Now he's getting his come up.
This is turnabout is fair play.
Yeah, I've seen this one. I like it.
I know. That is one of the best and funniest early covers of World's Finest.
Here is issue number 24.
Very cool. Now it's boxing. Very cool.
There's an American sport too.
The thing about Robin in these days, that especially in the early stories, Robin was tough. He was not crying all the time and worrying and whining and all this other stuff that he ended up doing more than he should have in the Silver Age. He was okay, but during the Golden Age, he was fearless and went at it straight up. He didn't mess around. And one of the coolest things he had in a lot of these early stories, and the early Supermans or Batmans as well, is that he has a sling. And when he would use this sling, which is this sort of like, it not like a slingshot.
The old sling, yeah.
It was a sling like David and Goliath kind of thing.
Yeah.
And when he would get in a situation where someone's coming after Batman or someone's about to trip the wire and blow something up, they would show him whirling this thing and letting go, and then they would show the path of the pellet or the rock or whatever, the ball bearing, I think, and it would go Z-I-I-I-N-N-N-N-N-G-G-G-G-G, all the zing all the way across the page, and hit the guy right in the temple. He never missed. Mm-hmm. Robin never missed with that. And that was the only weapon that he really had, other than his fists and his, and his acrobatic and, somewhat judo or karate or fist fighting and stuff. But that was the only weapon that he had. He didn't really have and he had a radio in his belt buckle so that he could contact. But other than that, really, they didn't put a Robin utility belt on him. per se, but Batman had that, but Robin really didn't. Here is issue number 25, and now we're into tennis.
Oh yeah. Those old wooden rackets just aren't reliable.
Just think, if that was today, it'd be pickleball.
I don't think that it would ever be pickleball for
Yeah,
these
please.
people. Here is issue number 26.
Nice.
Nice.
Here is issue number 29.
And Robin wins.
There's the first race.
I guess all those
Forget Flash versus Superman.
All those Star Spangled Comics appearances are making Robin good.
Here is issue number 30. It's a fire engine cover, which I
that's
think
a
is
good one,
very
yeah.
cool. And you'll notice that, yes, they are. Greg, you'll notice how muted Superman's costume is. Do you see that?
Yeah,
How they kind of darkened him down against the fire engine red? I like that. They used that color to distinguish Superman rather than have him blend away. Do you see what they did? Do you see which they did on purpose? And I also like the idea that Superman, now you'll notice that his cape insignia is the plain yellow.
Well, it's normal as we know it.
It's normal. And then the other thing is, you'll notice sometimes they'll put yellow on the tops of his boots. You know, they have like a kind of a yellow or a gold line up at the top of his boot tops. It would depend upon the colorist and what was going on, but I like the physical proportion, and I like the way that the bodies are positioned on all three of these characters.
Yeah.
beautiful.
I love this one. Now we're this is World's Finest number 34.
Look at the colors on that. Look at
With their color and logo coded race cars.
That would probably be the first appearance of a Superman themed vehicle.
Look at Robin though; he has some serious exhaust going on.
You know, he had a Robin mobile.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a really cool sports car that disappeared almost instantly.
His looks like the most.
It was in a Catwoman story, and she's getting away, and he says, "Look, I can go out and I can catch her. I'll catch her." He says, "No, it's okay. She's away by now." He says, "No, really, Bruce, I can catch her." No.
He's like, "What's the matter with you?"
He says, "What's going on?" And then he starts mooning as he's smoking his pipe, which is great for him too, right?
Yeah.
Smoking a pipe.
That was and you know what? In the early stories, whenever he's Bruce Wayne, he's always smoking a pipe.
Well, they killed the character off with lung cancer, so I mean, like, they gave him lung cancer before he died, so at least they were accurate about that, because he was still smoking pipes when he was Bruce Wayne in the 70s.
Now, pipes, is it like I've never smoked a pipe. You just put it in your mouth, or do you actually inhale it?
You don't inhale you keep it in your mouth. It's like a lot of times with cigars, you're not supposed to inhale cigars
I smoke
either.
Cigars like 2 or 3 times a year at least. I do it more if my wife didn't yell at me.
Well, and if you're with the boys, you know, then you pull them out. You don't dip it into cognac on the end, do you, or any of that crap?
No, I don't actually. Alcohol gives me heartburn nowadays. I'd rather just have a cigar without it.
That sounds good. Here is issue 35.
Nice.
Very
the
cool.
mannequin episode issue.
And let's see, July, August, I don't even know when. But you know, the way that they're coming out now, it's a little bit more random. Here is issue number 36, the surfing cover.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Look, it's the surfing bird of Robin.
Biggie,
this is Raymond's book.
Blunt.
But you see how clean these primary colors are?
That is really amazing. So good.
Raymond took good care of his books. and it wasn't Alex. Here is issue number 38. They've changed it now. They put the number small up at the top.
Log rolling. Now we're getting. I think Superman wins that one.
Here is issue number 39.
Ticker tape parade.
Nice.
Why? What did they do ever to deserve
What did
that?
they ever do to deserve that? And you'll notice where they, in this vintage, they always would have stuff like Give Blood or Community Chest or polio or muscular dystrophy or March of Dimes or all that. And DC would put that stuff on the cover. I don't recall, Doc, I don't know, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. I never saw that on any Timely books at all. I saw it on DC's, though.
DC, and I think Fawcett would do stuff like that a little bit.
Fawcett would do it a little bit too,
Yeah,
but
but
not like,
Timely-
no one did it like DC.
Timely
though.
would just give it to the Nazis. That's all they did. They were ruthless.
Really?
This,
Fawcett would copy DC. I've never heard of that happening before.
I think that's an ugly rumor. This is issue number 42, and this is the introduction of that two-fisted fighting star of the West, the Wyoming Kid.
Oh, wow.
Very cool. Because the Colorado Kid was busy that day.
So was the Montana Kid. And the Idaho Kid. Hell, the Oregon Kid. Here we
wouldn't come out of the casino.
Here is issue. Now they've got the numbers are really small. This is issue number 44. Nice red
Ooh,
cover
look at
with the
the red
soapbox
on that.
derbies.
Man.
That is one of my favorite covers too from this time because of the red. It's just so
That color strike is ridiculous.
yes.
And here is issue number 45.
Rock'em Sock'em
Now,
Rocket.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots. This is if you've ever seen, like in old movies, they have these things, and they're much bigger, heavier, and more substantial. And you just beat the hell out of the guys on the inside. They really would go hard at it.
Someone wants to know why you don't grade them, Step.
Because I have so many raw books that are worthy of grading. The cost of grading and the random nature and putting your books at risk. I haven't done that to my Mile Highs. I have all my Mile Highs I got in 1988, and I got them from Ernie Gerber, the Excitings and the Black Terrors that I have. And almost everybody who ever had a Mile High immediately would send it in to have it graded. The minute they could, that's what they would do. And now they, of course, with the label and the pedigree and all that stuff. And all I did was I've had mine sitting in Mylar, and I've opened them in the number of years. The number of years I've opened my books maybe once. I mean, and I didn't even do it to all of them. I just basically have left them in the Mylar in a cool, dry, dark place, just like Edgar Church did, because they are pristine and perfect and beautiful. I see no reason to, and if I ever, and at such time as I do sell them or trade them or sell them, how many people have a run of Mile High comics that have not been monkeyed with, touched in any way, that you could then have just like Edgar Church had them? Very few.
I think
So
only that collector in San Francisco that had all the timelies, he didn't have them graded until almost near when he passed away. You know what I'm talking about.
And also when the guy that died that had him, Comic Heaven, he had them, but a lot of the timelies have been touched.
Yeah.
But that's what you did before this code. You basically had your books conserved and taken care of, Susan Chacon or Matt Nelson or any, these people, before it came to, I won't get on my soapbox. Here is issue
Better
number,
show those books. We'll be here.
here is 46.
Very cool.
I don't remember that one. Kites.
No one does.
Because
Here is issue number 47.
roller skating.
Oh yeah.
But look at I mean, the way they would print these books back then, the colors that they would use to attract attention. I just think they're beautiful, beautiful colors.
I always like the contrast between Batman and Superman from their uniforms too. Batman being more dark and Superman being the primary color. So,
do you collect Comic Cavalcade too, Stepo?
I think
Like
I may have one or two.
Smoke.
I have the Halloween Mask Comic Cavalcade,
Right.
because it's notorious. Which, why is it notorious? I don't know. But no, not as much. I have a full set of Leading, and I have World's Finest, and I don't have a lot of All Star. I had some that I traded when I was following the example of this guy named Doc, who Svengali'd me into trading all my books away for bigger Golden Age books.
Well, I appreciate it because I have your Star Spangled comic one.
You have the number 2?
I don't have the number 2.
Okay, you have the number 1.
Yeah, I have the first.
The 6-0, yeah.
Cover.
Yeah, beautiful book. I mean, it's just very, very nice looking book.
Yep.
It could stand a clean. I mean, as far as that goes. Here is. You say it.
I said the only thing, it had tan pages, so I don't want to risk it because
that really was, and I wonder how tan they really are, to be honest with you.
You never know, but if you open a tan book, next thing you know, it's slightly brittle the next time around, so you got to be careful.
I just found that out. I had a PEP that MT worked on, and it went in, and he cleaned it up and made it much, much nicer, and it was light tan to off-white, and now it's slightly brittle.
Yeah. We've all learned that lesson. I did that with the Marvel Comics number 4. So
this is when they're starting to make their transition they're getting smaller, and it looks more like a regular comic, but they're still big. Here is issue number 59.
Whoa.
These don't survive. This vintage don't, and these are the nicest ones I could find.
That's a funny ass cover. That reminds me of when he's parachuting and that.
The soldier.
Yeah.
So he's holding his rifle. He's got his backpack.
Yeah.
And all these guys in their parachutes, and he's just sitting there going right down.
I used to have a pretty high grade of that. I traded it, unfortunately, but I love that book.
Yeah, that is a cool book.
That is. And there's also a Superboy version of it, too.
Oh, okay. This is issue number 60.
Nice.
Why does Superman have to pull them?
Because he's
a Kryptonian, and that's what we do with these people. The Manhunters have come in
should
now.
Be sitting on his neck. Or,
that reminds me of Superman 23 a little bit.
It does.
Yeah.
This is an vintage which is unbelievably tough. Here's 62.
Man.
This is not a particular, when you look at the interiors of these stories, there is a reason why the book started to kind of fizzle out. Here is issue number 65.
Nice.
Again, cool. These are very, very hard to find.
I imagine those middle issues are harder to find than even the early ones in a way, because they weren't as collected.
And they also were not made as well. The paper is they have different.
Wait, do you know about what year we're talking now?
Right now?
Yeah.
I will tell you. I will take it out of the bag. Here's the next one, 68.
The skunk.
Their villains tend to be losing some of their luster.
I don't know. I think the powerful Stink would be pretty.
Yeah.
It's Super Skunk.
Think about this. Even Superman's nose would.
This is from January, February of 1954.
Yeah, so we're really in the doghouse of superhero collecting. Well, a little getting out of it a little bit, I guess.
Getting close to the
Silver
point
Age,
where
yeah.
they end up in the stories together.
Here is issue. This is the last 15-cent World's Finest. This is issue number 70.
Where's his green shoe polish? Green, red, and blue.
Well, he's confused. He's confused, and they're all saying, come across, Jack."
Yeah.
How many?
Were you old enough to ever have Tootsie Roll fudge?
Never.
It was actually pretty good, and they had the rolls of it, and then they also had the larger squares that you could. And they had one that was like caramel fudge, Tootsie fudge, and then they had this sort of a vanilla one. It was pretty good stuff, but it was more or less like penny candy than it was the usual routine. Okay, I've only got a few more, and then I'm going to relinquish. Here is issue 71. This is when we went to 10 cents.
And they appeared together for the first time. And the only reason was because they put them in the story together because they were cutting back on pages.
Oh, is that right?
And they wanted both of them. Superman 76, their first team up, so to speak, sold really well. And they decided that they would do this in World's Finest to save pages.
Now, wasn't Superman 76 when they actually found out each other's secret identities and had an adventure together?
Yes, that is correct.
So that predates this.
Yes, it does.
And they're sharing a room, and Lois, it's the screwiest plot device. We're out of rooms, so Bruce and Clark have to share a room together. And then Lois gets in trouble, and then both of them are saying, well, I have to go rescue Lois. Now Lois is such a klutz that even Bruce Wayne has to pull her chestnuts out of the fire. So anyway, there's that. Here is issue number 72. 71, I think, is the one that has the theater with puppets, I think, is that one there. This one's cooler. This is 72. This is where they're going up against a castle and cannon.
Nice.
These are really creaky. And this one is the one that I just pictured on my Instagram, wherein this is a story where Superman is hit with a beam by a guy it's like he says it's a power discharger and then a power charger. I mean, he would change it, and he shot the discharge thing at Superman, and then he was going to turn it on himself to give himself Superman's powers, and then Batman swung in and got scrooched, and then he became Super. So what happens is they then go, and he says, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? He says, well, we're going to have to, you want to keep up with this. So they go back to the Batcave. They actually, Batman uses his superpowers to build a Superman cave. This is 1955, okay? So he digs out a Superman cave, and then they convert the Batmobile into the Supermobile. And the pictures of the Supermobile in here, it's got a 54 Cadillac rear end and a different front end that's really very stylized, very, very lovely. And I asked my Polish restorer in Krakow, Poland. He had just gotten a 3D printer and a CNC machine and some others that he was gifted by these companies because he's got umpteen gazillion followers because he's a craftsman, meticulous. And he created a Supermobile for me. And so if you read my post of this, you'll see pictures of it. And if you go to his site, it's like about 4 or 5 days ago it came out, and you can watch a supermobile, my supermobile being created from scratch. It's amazing, truly. 2 more. This is the way they started to look now. I mean, these last 3 gives you a good, these 2 here in particular. Here's issue number 78.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
These are wafer thin.
Yeah, you get, especially when
Wafer
you're
thin, huh?
thicker ones. But
They're wafer thin. The flying carpet cover.
nice.
Here is the Club of Heroes. And this is issue number, the last one I'll show you is issue number, what is it, 59? 89. What is it? It is issue 89. Oh, I have 2 of those. Oh, just for fun, I will show you because you're here.
Leading Comics, number 1. Wow.
Number
2. The number 1
2.
is a slab. It's a 7.5.
right.
It's the Windy City cover.
Nice.
I mean, the Windy City
I
copy.
was gonna say
It's
that,
the
yes.
first cover appearance of Green Arrow.
Yes, and leading 1.
Yeah.
Yes, and Aquaman didn't get one till 1960.
I'll just show you one more. I'll do these the right way. These are quite interesting covers.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yes.
Love the vigilante.
I like the hats. I like the way their hats are drawn on Green Arrow and Speedy. I always love Green Arrow and Speedy. Star Spangled Kid, Hal Sherman has a rather cartoony style. Siegel, it's Siegel and Sherman.
Especially Stripesy.
Especially Stripesy is.
Yeah, he's a big galoot.
Yes, but see, he grew up to look like Luke Wilson, so I think he's good.
And he built a robot out of his 57 Chevy or something. Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Very
nice.
cool. Bring us home, Doc. I want to thank. We've had just before we go. You go. Yes, tonight is an extra long episode, but this is worth it. And I thank everybody who stayed, and I hope that you're enjoying yourselves. You can go.
Just one thing, because TM Nerdy was saying, I actually my comic store had all the Mr. Miracle from the Tom King. So, and the first and the 12th issue are both COA signed by him. So I thought
Very cool.
I read the trade a while back, but I was like,
Must you torment TM?
I'll just show some recent pickups first, and then I'll go to some bigger books. But I just picked this one up recently.
Very nice.
Neil Adams. I love the Enemy Ace.
Me too.
Ghost of the Killer Skies. That is one of the greatest stories
Yeah.
that I've ever read, and it is in the greatest stories of Batman that I ever had.
It's a good one. I when I was in Denmark, I found the Denmark copy of it, so I bought that too. You'll like this, Matt.
Legion of Superheroes. Yes, it's one of the 4-issue miniseries from 1972, I think, where they
Right.
reprinted a bunch of adventure comics. Yep.
Yep, and this is a Nick Cardy cover, so it's always good to get and
Very
seeing
cool.
Mon-El get his come up and get his.
It's a much better cover than the original story.
Here's another
Heresy.
Kubert, nice one, the good old Tarzan Kubert.
Nice. You know that Tarzan series, okay? They actually, for DC, they would take old newspaper strips, put a story together from those, and then Joe Kubert would do page 1 to introduce it, and he did the covers.
This is a Amazing Spider-Man 120, I believe. Yep. Good
Very
old Hulk. 119 and 120 was a little Hulk versus Spider-Man action. This is the harder one to get high grade. This is black, borders somewhat. It's a good book. One of my favorite Kirby covers here.
Oh, very cool.
The color strike on this is so good.
I'll have
God.
to do my Thor run one time shift over to Marvel, because I have several Marvel runs that I will be showing too, Matt.
Nice.
Mhm.
So these are just random ones I show, and just one Atlas Seaboard, Mike Plug cover.
Lomax. Did it Atlas? The biggest ones only went to 6 issues, right?
The only one went to 6 issues. That was Iron Jaw. The rest were like
The rest were 4 or
yeah.
less. Yeah.
The
So
first
those are just
Scorpion
random
cover was
things I
my
just
favorite.
bought. But now Matt wanted me to show some big books. I already showed my big DC Golden Age book, so I'm not going to show those again. But it's going to show some.
Jimmy Olsen, Dark Side, great book.
Yeah, first Dark Side and cameo, I'll say. Dare I get in trouble? I mean, he's merely on a computer screen in the back, as opposed, Wolverine's on a full panel jumping out of the woods, and that's a cameo. So I figure.
I know, but you know what? You know how it is. Every comic fans pick one, and that's the one that becomes big.
Wow, 6.5. That is such a tough book.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, 6.5 in this is super difficult.
That's a 9.8 in that book.
Yeah, a friend of mine had the highest grade copy for a while. I think it was an 8.5. Then someone found a collection, and I think there's actually a 9.0 and a 9.2 now, but they don't exist. Like when you get to 6.0, the price escalates because you cannot find it. They're all less than 6.0 typically.
Mine's
usually
presentable, but it's
4.0.
no 6.5. I can tell you that.
Yeah. This has the original signature of the owner here on the trade dress. Sometimes that bothers people. That doesn't bother me too much.
Actually, that particular one, it depends. If it's this in big black Sharpie across everything,
Right.
that's one thing. That's not harmful. That's
it's
petite.
not.
That's charm.
And
I like
Gil Kane. This is
like
one of the better Gil
history
Kane
bits.
covers for sure. So nice. And Stepo, I enjoyed your run of Adam Strange that you showed on this show a few weeks ago. That was a great watch.
Thank you.
This
Wow.
is hard to get in a 9.8. This is really a tough book. Mr. Miracle.
And it's
yeah. What's the pedigree again? It's Sucha News.
Mm-hmm.
very cool.
So I'm not taking them out of the bags. I'm getting a little lazy here. I don't know if this is still being hyped or not, but
It'll always be a big book.
yeah.
Always be big.
Love the Green Lanterns. I'm trying to get a high grade first Guy Gardner. That's even more difficult.
Isn't
by
that
far.
59? 59?
59 and 76. 76 is rare and high grade too. That's just crazy difficult.
For as new as a book it is, it's surprising and annoying it is to get those in high grade. It's amazing.
Yeah. Now, no particular order. These are just in my box, but here I'll show something I got recently. I'll take this out of a bag because this is a tough book to get in this grade.
Wowee.
Whoa.
Is that the Black Cat?
This
Copy?
is not the Black Cat. It is one of the I can't read my eyesight. It's the something Coast. Someone found a lot of raw books.
Pacific Coast?
Yeah, Pacific Coast. Yep.
Wow.
White
Wow.
pages. The cut's a little weird.
Yeah, it is.
It got like cut off the top.
But those books sort of like, it's the same thing as with first Gambit, where at the top of the book there was, but it's Martin Goodman's cheap ass production value.
Martin Goodman was no longer with the company at this point.
Well,
I blame him anyway.
Plug cover, and now just to let the people aware that 9.6 there's only 48 copies in the 9.6. If you think about ASM 129, Giant Size X-Men 1, there's 300 to 500 copies in the 9.6. Even Luke Cage Hero for Hire has about 100 and something copies of 9.6. In the 9.8, there's only 6 copies of 9.8s of this right now. And then, Hulk 181, there's 190 copies, including the signed copies.
The thing is, Doc, the thing is about these, I had all these bronze. I had 9s in my bronze keys,
Mhm.
and that turned into my cap 1. I mean that. I said, which would I rather have? And again,
Yeah.
I use you as my mentor on this. Is that where you said, when you look at it, which would you rather have? And if you, for the same amount of money, for a lot of these books that you're showing here, there are Golden Age books that you are within range on.
Yeah. Here we got Hulk 180.
And does it have scratch marks through the 9/8 from this claws too?
Correct.
I think that's a great designer label.
Yes, I have to agree with that. And I don't like getting into arguments of which one's the actual first one, so I just
Get them both and tell them, take your
Yeah.
pick.
Yeah. So
Nice.
this I got to get a new label for, but
My
It's a white paper.
9, I had 2 copies of 9/6. They were 9/6s. They had I never could identify what it was. One had the spine that looks just like that.
yeah,
And then the one that I ended up keeping, I sold one 9/6 and took my profit and went somewhere else with it. I think 13 grand at the time.
yeah,
The other one was perfect registration. It was perfect on the left side, which is rather tough for those books to find
Right.
them where they have it exactly right. And that your copy is very, very nice.
Wow.
It really
Yeah.
is.
the colors to me are a little less poppy than some of them.
Just a
And that's-
little.
And I think that's why I was able to get it for significant. This book range goes pretty crazy, and I got this on the very low range of what a 9/8 white pager goes for nowadays. So
Now, would you
Yeah.
say that now, which question, would
Mhm.
you say that was near the end of the print run so that the inks were not as strong? Or do you think that it enjoyed a little bit of sunshine?
I would say it's probably the former. It doesn't feel like it got any. It doesn't look sun.
Because it
warm.
didn't
You
look
never
like
know.
sun to me. That's
Yeah.
why I think it's just end of the print run.
Yeah. Now, if you know, this is another tough one to get in high grade.
Holy
Extremely hard to get.
There are no 9/8s, and there's only about four 9/6s, I think.
crap. Wow.
And
Yeah,
Famous-
that is a really tough book.
yeah, and I'm annoyed because a 9/6 did come on auction, and it actually went for only a little more than what a 9/4 has been going for.
But
So
you don't. But how do you know? And plus, if you had put a bid in, maybe the guy would have
That's
bid you
true.
past it
That's
anyway.
true. It probably would have just thrown the price up a bit.
Oh,
Very
very nice.
cool.
So they had that, as you know, they had that warehouse find of these, where they are very high grade. If you look at the census on this
Yeah,
book,
this is easier to get 9/8 than 49 by far. Like it's not even close. This is 49 is so much harder, and 50 is so much harder to get. Whereas 48, this one is more common than 9/8 by far.
and that's not a bad thing. It's nice that you can have the opportunity to have a 9/8 First Silver Surfer.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that. Oh boy, God, 8.
Nice.
And this is
Wow.
a white pager.
Oh my God. And for that vintage of a white page, that is stunning.
Yeah, this is a nice copy, and this I feel like was a bargain actually, considering.
Wow. Just wow. Beautiful book.
And I wish, because I actually have an ASM 5 and an 8.0 as well, but I don't have it on me. So that would be fun to have both those. Doom covers.
ASM 5 is the one that has Ditko drawing Doom shooting his finger blasters at
Correct.
Spidey in the left side.
Correct. Yeah, I'm not going in any particular order. I'm just grabbing books here. So.
Wow. What a beaut.
I actually got this from Dustin, the comic chiropractor. So he probably had it at a 7.0 and boosted it up and made a little profit on me. But such a beautiful
Well,
book.
I have to say that he does very, very good work. I like the
Yep.
sharp points on Iron Man's mask. I remember when that occurred.
Yeah.
And I remember when Avengers 4 was always more valuable than Avengers 1, but I think that the market has turned the other way. Am I wrong?
Yeah, definitely. The Avengers 1, I think, is more expensive now. I think it is.
And
Loki's costume on that spine, is problematic as the Flash is in 105, that red costume on the spine.
Yeah.
It is impossible to get that. That is a spectacular copy of that. And Off-White,
This is Off-White, correct?
beautiful book. God, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I got this in a trade. My Batman one restored. I got this, a Hulk one, and a number of other books. This is the only one I kept out of the ones I got that he traded to me. I ended up selling or trading him off, but I kept this one. I had an
So you
ASM
offed your
one.
Bat one?
The restored one. I got a 1.5 blue label.
Ah, yes. Okay, fair enough.
Remember you were busting my balls about how your color strike was better?
I never bust your ball. I can't win that fight. I don't have a death wish.
Well, you were right.
Did I
though.
show you the
were right.
suspense 3 here?
You were right,
Oh,
Stefano. You were right. You were right though. That's the hard. The hard part is your criticism was correct.
Very cool. Mysterio.
This is a nice one. A white pager, Mysterio, and I know someone who got an interior page of this book recently, so it's pretty crazy.
wow, they're selling pages of this.
Yeah.
You know, Mysterio as a villain was a different kind of a thing. I never really could quite figure out. He's sort of a mind game guy, wasn't he?
Yes, illusions, and he'd make you just go nuts. And even Old Man Logan, like he got
In his head, right? Yeah.
You know, that was part of the
9-4. Wow.
9-4 Silver Surfer 1. Now that is a banger.
Well, wait till he brings out the 9-8 Silver Surfer 4.
I don't have a 9.8, but a 9.6 will do.
Oh my God.
Very cool.
All of these went away for another book. That they were part of another trade. I think for that Captain America 74 is where those went.
I recently made a deal for Captain America 74. I don't have it yet. And I'll end on probably the worst copy, the worst cover.
That's awesome, though.
I love Doctor Strange, though. I'm
Doctor
a huge
Strange is
fan of
awesome.
Doctor Strange. If there's a series I've read the original from this till more of the Bronze Age twice. You know, I like Doctor
He's
Strange.
a big part of the Defenders. I love Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah.
I will say that
That was Ditko at his finest to me. I mean, I like Ditko Spider-Man, but Ditko Doctor Strange, the story writing and everything about it, I just love it. It hit me the right way.
have you heard of the East Lansings? The East Lansing pedigree, Doc?
Just one more. I said end. I lied.
Oh, okay. Beautiful. 9-8.
Nice.
I have
Hard
the
to
East.
get really good color strikes on this one because the blight, it's always comes out the blues the way it is.
Here, wait just a second.
Very
I have
cool.
a raw copy that may be more blue than this.
I believe
Nice
it.
raw copy. It's probably a 7.0. But
Very cool.
anyway, we'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Well,
Is
let's see
Steppo
what-
going to one up me? Is he going to show me his nicer?
He's
brown
probably
copy?
going to try and one up, yes. While Stephen is gone to get his book, I
This-
want to take time to thank everybody who has come tonight and stuck with us tonight. Yes, this is a slightly extra longer episode, but it is well worth it. And if you end up watching this on the rewind, I hope you're enjoying yourself as much as I did as I got to watch them come out as they did. Doc, you always bring out the great stuff, and I love it.
Well, you're very
My
welcome.
class of 68 books was there was a warehouse find of all of them except for the Hulk 102. It wasn't in there. All the rest of them were there.
Oh,
And
nice.
this is my Submariner
That is
number 1.
Beautiful. That is beautiful. See, that to me has a better color strike. Now, the one I just got was hanging so low. It was another one of those, I'm going to make one bid, and I ended up winning it for way below what they've been going. So it was an opportunistic buy. But that is, I feel like that color strike that's the ideal color strike for Submariner. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All of these of the class of 68 books, this will be another presentation I will do. I also include in those there was a warehouse find of the Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos with the Captain America on the cover, the orange one, and it was
The first
just
time
another
they meet in the story of the
War
first time they
II.
meet in World
Reed
War II.
Richards is with the OSS.
Yeah,
They had to do something with him.
yeah, that's a great book.
Yeah.
And Steven goes again. Off he goes. Oh, this was an absolute banger. It was full of great books. I love them. I mean, yes, superheroes are the predominant comic books of our time, but they are so fun.
Oof. That is so nice.
Very nice.
This one I got from Ed Jaster when he was still Ed Jaster himself, before he then kissed the ring for Heritage. I'm sorry, I'm starting to fall into Doc's trap. I won't do that. I have a little bit of oxygen. I can't fall into the trap.
Thank you very much,
Colin.
Steven.
No, appreciate you, Matt. Yep.
You know, you guys honestly have, you two and Alan have the biggest collections of anybody I know. And you two in particular, Alan's collection is fantastic, but you two both specialize in getting high grade books, and where Alan is like me, he wants to fill the holes in his collection, and I can appreciate that too. But any chance I have to see what wonderful books you guys have, especially to get you together like this, it's worth an extra longer show. It's worth calling the Banger Edition. And thank you both very much for joining me tonight. And thank you all out there in television land, YouTube land, that have stayed with us tonight throughout the whole show. And those watching it later, if you watch it in pieces or just a part, that's good. That's fine. I'm just happy that you guys come in to take a look at some of the books that Doc and Steven have shown us tonight. On behalf of Doc and Steven, my name is Matt. I like comics, and I hope you do too. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.
Biggie.